Hey, what's up, guys? I'm actually recording this a little early today. It's not Monday yet, my usual day, but I'm gonna be away for a conference most of next week, so I just wanted to get this up before taking off. Um, and also, just a quick apology about it being directly from webcam. I know the quality of this is not as good as when I use a video camera, but I just wanted to get something out before taking off. Um, First of all, big ups to Warren for some of these topics that we're talking about these days. I think going at looking at our the parts of our lives and our transitions, or lack thereof in some cases, in a more positive light, in a more developmental way, has been really good, and able to make our conversations a little bit deeper. Um, this is for week 29, and the topic is it's not all about the body. It's not just about transition, but obviously that plays a huge part in some of our lives. Um, we wanted to discuss a little bit about the social aspects of transitioning. So, how do we feel about um, transgender identities that don't intersect with transition and things along those lines, and where do we fit in with all those pieces, and what sort of role do we want to play in society? How male of a role do we want to play, and all that stuff. Um, I'll start off by saying that socially I had transitioned for quite a while before I started physical transition. I lived full time pretty much as male for about 5, 6, 7 years, depending on how you look at social transition, before going on to your having top surgery. So definitely one of those people at that point in my life that had done that. And I want to say that uh, it was a, it was very important for me to have a lengthy social transition. I talked about this last week too when we talked about delaying our transition and things along those lines. How part of my delay was not something that I could help, but another part of it was to be able to reflect on my life and be sure that what I was doing was right. Um, and I very much appreciated living my life as a male, despite what my voice projected or what my chest suggested, and all of those things. Um, and so I have a great deal of respect for folks who identify along any sort of transgender, gender variant, gender queer spectrum, um, who don't feel like transition is a necessary part of their lives. Um, Again, whether by choice or strictly out of financial need and needing to come to terms with it and embracing it, um, I have mad respect for folks. Um, I think that we have a lot of infighting within the trans community, gender variant, gender queer community around transness and stealth. Whether that our goals should be to be stealth and to um, basically assimilate into the mainstream and just be like anybody else, um, and not stand out, or talking about that's too um, excuse me too assimilationist, and we're letting go of who we actually are by not talking about being trans, and not talking about our histories and stuff along those lines. So a lot of different conversations and debates that happen within the community that I think um, do nothing for us other than divide us. But I guess like I'm preaching to the choir for the most part when I say that. Um, I've seen trans guys do this all the time, where they belittle people um, who don't follow a path that's understandable to them, that makes sense to them, but that isn't like their path. Um, so even conversations about quote unquote ex trans folks. So folks who transitioned at one point in their lives in a certain direction and then decided that really wasn't it for them, and it ended up not being the right thing to do, and transitioned back to their original form. And it is what it is. And I think putting up fights within the community about that being wrong, or what does that say about the community, and makes us all look a certain way, and yada yada yada. I think we are the ones that make us look a certain way when we say that, when we project our own insecurities and our own fears onto how other people choose to live their authentic selves. And that at the end of the day, that is what we need to be doing, is each and every one of us finding our own ways to live our authentic selves and be able to support other people in achieving that. And also respecting if people don't want to live their authentic selves. If they are at a point in their lives where they can't 100% be who they want to be, then supporting them regardless, not pushing them in directions that might be a little too fast. Folks, um, folks definitely gave me a hard time sometimes about me not transitioning, and kind of telling me to just kind of raise a middle finger to my family, and you know, not take them into account, and just do it because I wanted to, and because it would make me happy and stuff like that. And it wouldn't make me happy to give my family a middle finger by doing that. So it was counter to what they were actually saying. Um, so I guess um, the short answer to how I feel about transgender identities that don't desire physical change, great, wonderful. More power to you. I support you. Not that you asked me to, but if anybody were to, I'm right there. You have every right to live the way that you want to live, physical transition or not, part transition, whatever. Um, and in terms of where I place myself, like I said before, I have lived in that space before. It was tough at times, but in other times it really gave me a lot of strength. It taught me to really challenge society, and to challenge what we consider to be the norm, and even within the trans community was considered a norm, and all of that stuff. So, and it also taught me to have a healthy respect for my history, and really examine my feminist thoughts and ideals in a different light. Um, I'm happy with where my transition is at this point, and just ongoing with my hormone therapy. I'm still within my first 4 months, so I think I'm happy with where I'm at. If things change down the line and I desire more, and I'll see at that point. But this is the role I want to play in my in society right now, is to embody and embrace my maleness, but also embrace it in a way that is true to myself. So allowing for my femininity to exist alongside with my masculinity and my androgyny, and be okay with that. Um, uh, I often talk about how, mostly because of my upbringing, and where I come from in terms of the Middle East and the Mediterranean, I'm very expressive with my hands and stuff like that, and people often interpret that as being feminine, or gay, or stuff like that. And interpret it how you will. This is part of my maleness, and this is part of who I am. So I hope to continue to challenge myself to be authentic to myself. Um, yeah, that's all I had for today. I hope everyone has a great week, and excited to see all the videos once I get back from the conference. Take care.